Just how you feeling? Day one of OTAs heading into year two.
I'm feeling really good. It's good to be back out there on the grass with the team, running around, getting the reps in. So, it's fun attacking it every day, being out there on the field.
How much do you feel like you've grown? Quinn was just saying that you feel like you've grown significantly in terms of understanding, whether it's technique or not just relying on your instincts. Do you sense that too? You said you guys might talk today about it or something.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've grown a lot, especially like you were saying, like in the classroom, like film-wise. Really just being able to watch the film from last year, seeing what I did wrong, knowing where I got to improve at, and then also being able to take that next jump, and really just understanding where to be, when to be there. It's really starting to make a lot more sense. That more that we break it down and really go through it, and now that we're watching our own film, so a lot of improvement, but still a lot more room to grow.
What are the things you see that they need to be better at? What are your expectations this season for yourself?
I can be better at a lot. I mean, there's always room to grow, but really, I would just say having my eyes in the right spot, knowing what I'm looking at, knowing my key, because that'll really take me to my work, take me where I need to be. So I'm really just having my eyes in the right spot and then making sure I'm over communicating with the linebackers, the other corners, the safeties, really just stuff like that.
What do you expect for yourself this season?
Really just to take the next step, but really just being able to be a vital piece on the defense, also on the team, to help us win games, as many games as possible. So, yeah.
Coach, have you been hanging out with Khalil, kind of learn from him? Why have you done that?
Really, Khalil was up here working out before we had to report back for OTAs, and I was in town for probably a month and a half, 2 months before report date. So I'm really just coming up here working out every day. Khalil was up here too early in the morning, and he started making me come in on Fridays and train with him. So really, it's a training session, but also I'm really getting to ask him about life, ask him about football, things he's learned, any game he can really give me. So really just having a lot of conversations with Khalil about on the field stuff, off the field stuff. So really just soaking it all in and taking his advice.
So he basically invited you to come on Fridays.
Basically, yeah.
So did you have to do anything to set yourself up to be able to do that? Was it something you did in the weight room? Or was it all right, you're ready to come in on Fridays? Or?
It was more of he'll see me in there Monday through Thursday, and then Coach Herb was like, I told Coach Herb, I was like, yeah, see you Monday. And then Khalil was like, why you not coming in tomorrow? So I said, you know what, you're right. So next morning, I met him in the weight room, and we got to work in. And then after that, it was every Friday thing.
What time do you guys get here on Friday?
It was usually in the morning, around 9 o'clock, because he take care of his body before, so he's in the training room doing stuff like that. So I would get in the training room with him, and then we'll go to the weight room and lift.
Were you working out on your own on Fridays, or Friday was a rest day? Before Khalil asked you to come in?
Yeah, Friday was really like an off day, so I would have Friday off and then take the weekend off, come back in on Monday. But really, it worked out to my advantage coming in on Friday, getting the extra work. And also, you feel good heading into the weekend, knowing that you just got an extra day in, so I thank him for that.
What's Khalil like? Does he make you crazy stuff or?
It's really Coach Herb's workout, so we're doing crazy stuff anyway. But it all helps, though. It all has a purpose, so it's all purposeful work. But really, Khalil just shows me how to be intentional every day and then taking advantage. Small incremental gains every day to get to where I want to be. So to set myself up later. So.
Have you put on muscle or
So I'm probably down 2 pounds from what I played last year, but it's more muscle and less fat, so it looks a little different.
What did you learn about how to take care of yourself off the field, away from the facilities, that sort of stuff that you were looking at now?
Really just find something that you can relax, fall back on, something to ease your mind, whether it's going to the beach, reading a book, riding a bike, just doing something to get your mind away from when you're here. But really knowing when it's time to, say, when we come in, when it's time to work, punch the clock, put the work in, and then good recovery. So I got with a Lohi. He got me with a lady to get my body right off the field. So it's just stuff like that, like trying to build routines, build good habits. So I'm really scheduled, got the schedule, and I'm not just freestyling all over the place.
Why do you say Coach Herbert's workouts are kind of crazy? What do you guys do, or what's different about it than maybe other types of weight training that you experienced before?
I would just say, it's different in college. You're lifting a lot of heavy weight, doing a lot of different stuff. But with Coach Herb, it's all intentional. It's all for a reason. It all makes sense. So we do a lot of training our neck, our shoulders, stuff that we use a lot playing football. So I would really say it seems crazy, but when he breaks it down and you know the why, it makes a lot of sense.
What's your relationship like with Cam? You guys came in last year, rookie, back there, right? Just like the vibe and the bond you two have together.
That's like my best friend. I'm not gonna lie. Talk to Cam a lot. We hang out a lot. You know, it's somebody I can really just talk to whenever I'm not even about football, about life, anything. And then we're also just always making each other better, always telling each other what we see on the field. And then like we can hang out outside the field, outside the facility, stuff like that. So it's really like my brother. I can't say big brother. It's like just like my bro. You know what I'm saying? He's older than me though, but that's my guy.
Practice day, were you guys allowed to be making plays on the ball, or you just have to let everything go?
Really, it's we got to know the tempo. Sometimes, you know, you get a little competitive, but really, I think first day, guys are really just trying to make sure we practice right, keeping everybody up, not doing anything stupid, so to say. We're really just trying to follow the tempo of practice. If you get a clean break, maybe you can play the ball, but I think today was really about knowing where to be, lining up, and really just keeping each other healthy, make sure everybody stays up, so, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. First play in there, it was kind of like too good to be true. Ball came to me. I dropped it. It's okay.
Are practices like this tough for DBs? Where you like there's certain situations where you kind of just have to, especially for somebody like you, how competitive you are. Is it tough to just be like, all right, yeah, go ahead, catch it?
I mean, I would say it's not tough. You really just got to know and just train your mind. But really, I would say it's really good to work technique. Being able to cover guy, not touching them, no hands on, really stay with him hip to hip, and then just really letting the receiver catch the ball and then getting a good finish. Obviously, in your nature, you want to play the ball, you want to be able to pick it, you know, use your hands, stuff like that. But really just being able to shadow the guy, stay in his pocket, and then let him catch the ball and then tag off. I think it's really good to work for technique. But sometimes, you know, you get a little antsy, you want to just play the ball. But really just got to know in the back of your head, just shadow.
Go ball to Lad down the left sideline, you can take that one.
No comment.
The two veterans in the room, obviously, like they added to the room. What has it been like with them so far? And just, I mean, having the experience that they had, like how valuable is that? But like more people to kind of pick their brain, I guess.
It's very valuable because they came from two different places. So and like you said, they're vets, so they've seen a lot of football. A lot of stuff that I haven't seen yet, so I can really just ask them about their experiences or about things that helped them early on or things that could help me now in my game. So really talk to D-Jack a lot, talk to Juice a lot, really like what can I implement in my game that you think I need or what have you seen out there, like just trying to pick their brain about anything or like little techniques that they use, really just any knowledge that I could use to help me better my game, and they're all for it. They're all in for helping me and even the camp, just giving us little nuggets, stuff like that.
Where did your thirst for knowledge come from?
I would just say you can never know enough. There's always something to learn. There's always a way to improve, and once you like it's kind of like going from high school to college. You get to college, you be like, oh wow, I didn't know football at this level, and then you get to college, you think you know it all. You get to NFL, and it's a whole different world. So, I mean, there's always something to learn. You can learn something every day if you really just listen. And a lot of guys have a lot of different things that you can learn from. So even maybe if they're not a DB, you can learn from them in life-wise or even just other football ways. But to your point, I think it's always a way to learn. There's always more to learn, and you have to be able and willing to learn.
Do you think that came from like a coach or someone from your family that kind of instilled that in you?
I feel like people always said it, whether it's my coaches or family members or anybody, but really just listening to what they're saying to be able to learn from people, whether it's what they say or what they do. I probably did it since I was a young kid, but the more I got older and the more I moved up in like the ranks of football, it became more serious to really just learn and be knowledgeable.
I was out there today to be back.
It was a little frustrating, you know what I'm saying, being on the side, watching everybody else compete. Obviously, I'm coming back from the shoulder injury that I had in the Houston game, and it's not cleared yet. And doing the football school, it was cool. Like, everybody's walking through, everybody's just at a slower tempo, but seeing everybody compete, even though we can't compete on the ball, and just seeing the offense versus defense and the defense out there communicating and playing together is kind of frustrating, but just got to stay strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm close, so yeah.
How far are you?
I should be clear right around minicamp, so probably 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I had the surgery in January, so it's smooth now. It's just I have to be on schedule, so yeah.
What was the process like? Obviously having the injury in the playoff game and then surgery coming back from that, the rehab process.
It was a little bit different. Obviously, I had a surgery in college, And I've been through the same process before, but it's different. You don't have spring ball, you don't have class, so you don't technically have to be here. So it was a little bit different. It was better. I could spend more time focusing on my body, spend more time rehabbing. I've been rehabbing twice a day since January, since I had the surgery. So it's been good. Obviously, it comes with the game. Like, you're going to get injured at some point playing football. Obviously, we hope not to. But that was just the cards that I was dealt, and I just woke up every day and attacked it.
Do you feel like you have to change at all how you play because of the injuries that you had, or do you think it's just?
Try not to think too much about it. I think once you cross that line of just trying to change your game to compensate for the injury, then you just thinking too much. Football was never about thinking; it's always about reacting. So I just trust the doctors, trust the medical staff, and trust that they're going to get me back to where I need to be to play at my full potential. And once I step on the field, I'm not thinking about no injury or what I may have nicked up last game. I'm just out there to play full speed, and give my team and my teammates everything I got. After I'm cleared, after I'm healthy, I move past it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
What are your goals for yourself this year?
I got a lot of goals for myself. One, get healthy. 17 healthy games. Obviously, last year, everyone's seen a couple injuries here and there, and that's been something that I've been tormenting over or just mad about for myself. But the 17 healthy games, and then give everybody everything I have. I think I got a lot out there that I can prove or that I have to prove, and I showed a small percentage of who Cam can be in the NFL last year, and with 17 healthy games, I think I got a lot more, to show.
What do you think you have to do to get to 17 games? Is it just a little bit of luck, or Coach Klink talked about maybe doing stuff off the field?
Oh yeah.
Just durability a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's just the type of person I am, regardless. If I'm healthy, hurt, if I'm dealing with a small injury, I'm always gonna invest in my body. That's at this point. This is my business. My body's my business, and that's how I've been thinking about it since college. So, in terms of rehab, prehab, doing all the small stuff to make sure I'm staying on the field, yeah, I'm on that. But it's just the industry we in. And, football, you're gonna get injured at some point. So, like I said, that's just cards that I was dealt.
What kind of opportunity is this for you this year? Even for you and Tarheeb, but for yourself specifically to earn a starting spot and have the opportunity to potentially start 17 games.
For sure. It's a great opportunity. I think every day is a great opportunity. We live in our dream. This is all I've ever wanted to do my entire life. So the opportunity to step out on that field every day is an amazing one. And then obviously you hear about the sophomore slump, and you guys had good years, or you did this, that in your first year. Like I said, I turn the page every day. Every day is a new day for me. I try to attack every day and feel new every day. So whatever I did in 2024, that's over with. It's a new opportunity. It's a new script. It's a new page, and I'm ready to write that chapter. So, yeah.
Without having a chance to obviously go on the field, how have you approached maybe looking to improve, is in the film room, this offseason, or how's
I've been doing everything that they've been doing up until this point. Obviously, this is the point where you guys come in and see everybody competing. But up until this point, I've been able to do everything that they've been doing, conditioning, watching film. I'm staying locked in just like everybody else. This is the point where I got to adjust and figure out how to catch up or stay on par, which I don't think it'll be too hard. Like I said, it's not too much going on out there. Just got to make sure I'm staying in conditioning like everybody else. But up until this point, it's cool, yeah.
Klink was saying he was really impressed with the maturity that Tarheeb's been showing for you having gone through last year with him. Does he seem Tarheeb?
Okay.
Klink said he was really impressed with the maturity that Tarheeb's been showing.
Yeah.
Does he seem different to you, or a little bit more grown up this year, going in your second year together?
I think we both bounce off each other. Coach Klink always say there's aspects of my game and my personality that Tarheeb lacks, and there's aspects of his personality and his game that I lack. And the time we spend together, the amount of film we watch together, the time outside the building we spend together, you can just see the growth in him as a person, and then also him as a football player. And then just being out on the field, You know, he played, I don't know how many games he started to play, but he played damn near 17 games, you know. So just that experience alone, you're going to grow up. You know, that you have no other choice. You know, you're going to be thrown in the fire. You gotta grow up, and you got to be able to hold your own, too. So I have seen it. I think there's a lot more to grow for both of us. And he's going to have a long career in the league. I think everybody see it. So this is going to be an everyday thing. And, yeah.
You two motivate each other.
Hell yeah. Every day. We talking trash to each other every day. Obviously, Tarheeb, like I said, he played 17 games or however many games. He had the ball production, and that's something that I always try to push myself. You know, even since college, I wasn't huge on like the stats, and I never had like the big picks and stuff like that. So just watching him get all the interceptions and making the splash plays, I'm like, I wanna do the same thing. So yeah, every time, every day, there's always something that we competing on. I think that's what competitors do, and we're always pushing each other to be the best that we can possibly be.
Does he remind you that he has more picks than you?
Hell yeah, every day, every single day, yeah. And if I have more picks than him, best believe he's gonna hear from me. So yeah, he better.
You guys hang out a lot off the field.
Yeah.
You guys compete and you go have fun or do, you know.
Yeah, I think everything we do, we competed with. I won't say with what, but yes, we're competing. Yes. Yeah.
You mentioned college a couple of times. Just your thoughts on Notre Dame, USC, and kind of what's being talked about right now.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with it too much. I heard a little bit of it, but you probably know more than me. What's going on?
There might end a rivalry. That it might just be a one-year contract, and after that, it could be up and could come to an end.
I mean, they've been losing so much, so I probably would end it too. I mean, but no, not serious. I mean, that would be tough because I mean that's something that us as players at Notre Dame we look forward to. We look forward to all the trophy games, and this I don't know how long that rivalry's been going on, but that would be detrimental to the program. So yeah, I'm not sure.
It's been 100 years.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I don't know why. Why is that happening?
Say maybe Big Tens look too tough, that don't want to travel to another Big Ten city when they got to travel so much. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I got you.
The injury in the Texas game, was it torn labrum?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Dayon, I think, had a similar injury. Did you guys rehab together at all?
You gotta ask Day on that.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure.
No, but did you guys rehab together at all?
Oh yeah. We do. We rehab together, but I don't know what his injury is. You gotta ask him.
I was
Yeah.
asking if you guys rehab.
Oh yes.
Together.
Yes. Yeah.
How did it feel to kick off OTAs?
Felt great. I feel renewed. I feel fresh. Having the off season under me, being with Herb early on, has helped me. I always say the longer I'm with him, the longer I'm gonna play. He just does a great job just of, having a plan for everybody. It's not just doing this, doing that. There's a plan for everything. So that's been going well. I'm really excited about that. And then being out and being able to play some football, go over plays today, seeing the offense today was refreshing and fun. So getting to the good part. So.
I'm not sure every strength coach that you've been with has had a plan for you. What
Yeah.
specifically about Coach Herbert stands out that you feel like you'll be able to keep playing with his training?
Yeah, like I said, I think I know I don't want to sound too biased, but this is the best strength conditioning program that I've been a part of as long as I've been playing. I'm old, but it's really been like just dialed in on the details of stuff. It's not too much of something. There's a rhyme and reasoning for everything, and that resonates well with, especially with older guys. You don't want to put too much on, but you want to be doing the right things. We're not in there heavy lifting, benching, but we're doing the right things for the right muscles. And I think it just, I know I can speak for a lot of the guys. It's just a good program for us, and it's very good to be in this type of situation, especially for me.
So how different is that? I mean, considering where you were to where you are now, like where your mind is with football and how that has completely changed.
Yeah. So it was a transition, not playing, having a year off, and then coming in. And I always think back of that mini camp when I came in. I was not in shape, and I thank you, Jesse and Ed and Joe, for taking a chance on me on that, because I don't know how good I looked on film then. But now I've got my feet under me. I had a fight with my trainer in the offseason. He wanted me to take more time off. I'm like, I'm ready to go. You know, I don't want to stop and then have to get back in shape. So I took about a week off, had a fight with him with that. But, you know, I just kept rolling in the offseason, and I just feel like I'm in the flow of everything and just continuing to ascend health-wise.
Does your body like feel different from when you stepped away compared to like how it feels? Is there something totally different about how this feels?
Yeah, I think actually like taking the year off actually helped me in a way because I was everything that hurt stopped hurting, and then I was able to just build off of being fresh. And like I said, staying healthy is a big part of being with Herb, and I think sticking with that program, even in the off season when we leave, I want to continue to do that. And I love the way my body's feeling right now.
Since you've been around, you know, like you said, like Tarheeb and Cam, their relationship, the way they played, have they impressed you at all?
Yeah, 2 5th-round picks, both 5th-round picks. Yeah, that's a steal. You got 2 guys that can come in and be available and be able to come in and make an impact on the secondary, like we had. And then it's always about the second year, really. I think a lot of the guys either take a big jump or, you know, they stay stagnant or go below. But I think those guys have the right mindset and the right attitude. They work hard, they listen, and they want to be great. So I'm really happy and excited for them and the growth that they're doing. And they know, you know, they always got me to lean on if they need it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm Unc. I've taken full-on responsibility for that. But, hey, I like being Unc. So we'll roll with it.
I know you watched like that. Did you watch either of them when you were in Baltimore?
Yeah, so I watched them towards the end of the year when I was scouting. I shifted more to college, so I was able to see him, and then I went to the Senior Bowl and I got to see Cam up front and live, just big, tall, long corner. You know, they were battling. It was him and Brendan Rice actually that were battling like one-on-one a lot. So that was fun to see. And I thought Cam won. You know, I thought Cam won that battle. And but both really good players.
Is your big report stash somewhere?
Oh, stash. Hey, in Baltimore, they always keep those reports, so they're in there. You know, so.
Do you guys do like grades? Like,
Yeah, we do grades, but after the Senior Bowl, I was done scouting, so I didn't even get to that part. They're like, "Hey, we're going back to do more." I was like, "I think I'm gonna go home."
When you look back on last year and coming back and everything, how big was that preseason game against Dallas where you like were able to make so many plays? How much did that just like show you what you had left in the tank?
Yeah. No, it was. I knew what was coming. I mean, I had to because I played in the first preseason game, but I had a hamstring pretty much all training camp. Like my body wasn't in condition, like yet. So I was dealing with that through training camp. So I'm trying to prove I could play while I'm hobbling, you know, with the hamstring. So the first game, Seattle, I played with the grade 2. Ended up sitting out the next game, and then I knew this last preseason game, it was all or nothing. So they let me rest up, skip that. So I basically had like almost 2 weeks off, just let the hammy rest. And I went out there, felt good. It was funny, the younger guys and the Cowboys were like, "Bro, relax, calm down, bro." They're like, "Bro," I'm like, they're like, "Bro, you're like 38 years old out here." I'm like, "Bro, like I gotta make my case, bro. I got a family too." So, you know, that was a good opportunity for me, and you know, I'm same situation this year. I'm going in, same thing, just trying to make the team and do what I can on the football field, you know, to impress.
Have you ever like thought about what a sort of unique situation that was? Because you had a lot of young guys, undrafted, you know, rookies that are, you know, going balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Preseason game 3, trying to like make a case.
Yeah.
Considering everything you accomplished in the league, like, do you ever think about how kind of a unique situation that was that you were like going toe to toe with these 21
I
year
know. Hey, it made me feel younger. I'm like, hey, I can hang with these young guys. These dudes coming out of college running 4.2, 4.3, you know, and I'm filling up the stat sheet. So it gave me a little boost of confidence after that. And then, you know, obviously during the season I had to wait my turn or wait until my opportunity came. And I just wanted to make sure I was ready. And I think that game helped me with my confidence going forward too. So.
This is obviously the first practice you guys have gone against the offense this offseason, and the receiving core has kind of been revamped here.
Mm-hmm.
What are your impressions of them, going against them today for the first time, and what you've seen from them so far?
Well, a lot of talent, obviously, Lad sticks out, just very sudden, can move fast. Big Mike out there, he's been in the league for a while. I've played against him a few times. The young guys looking smooth, and I think it's a work in progress. Everybody's getting used to real life movements, going against other guys. So we'll just see how that continuously progresses throughout the week and OTAs. But I think it was a good start today for day one. Everybody was healthy, came out healthy, and just trying to make it a training camp healthy, right? So.
Tony, kind of a bigger, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
kind of a bigger picture. You got Derwin here, but you see the guys like him, Kyle Hamilton, Jalen Ramsey, these guys who play spots. What does that do in terms of the learning acumen, whatever, for the other DBs? Like, okay, hey, in this situation, he's gonna be free.
Right.
In this situation, he's gonna be in the box. What does that do for the other guys in terms of, I've really got to be on it? And do you see an evolution in the DB, knowing that more and more of these multiple players are coming out, so other guys have got to be multiple as a result?
Absolutely. I think I already see it in the young guys, like even our rookies in the room. They understand, can't get too comfortable at one position, because especially in this defense, everybody's moving around. Everybody's got to be able to play different positions. And I think Clink does a great job really of reminding everybody, hey, you're playing safety today, but you also need to know dime, you need to know nickel. So we're staying on our feet. And, when you're able to be interchangeable like that, you help the defense out schematically a lot. And you let your defensive coordinator be able to move around. Let Jesse just come up and be the genius he is with the defense. And the more interchangeable you are, the more valuable you are. And the more valuable you are in this league, the longer you can play, the longer you last, and the more plays you make. So that's at the forefront, I think, really of everybody's mind in the secondary room is keep your mind open. Don't get comfortable at one position.
Does this feel like a particularly competitive corner room, just with the number of guys that have played a decent amount of ball in the league? From your perspective?
We got guys in there that's played a lot of snaps, but I think the approach I think everybody's taking is just competitors are welcome, like Coach says, and just go out there and compete. I too much don't really think you should just be competing with yourself. Make sure you're doing your job, and they'll make the decision upstairs. But we got a lot of guys that's played a lot of football, meaningful football, and when you got guys that play a lot of snaps, that alleviates the mental errors and stuff like that, and you feel more comfortable, and the chemistry just kind of gets there too. So guys like D-Jack and Ben, they don't know the exact terminology, but they know defense, and it's easier for them to attach and get to it. So.
You called Coach Mentor genius. Why?
Oh well, I knew Mentor before probably most of you knew Mentor in Baltimore. He's always been a genius. He was more of a behind-the-scenes genius when we were in Baltimore. So a lot of the guys used to go to him, ask questions behind the scenes, and he had the answers. He was very bright always, and just knowing how to put guys in the right position, understanding your attributes and what you're good at is one thing I think he excels in great, and then understanding what the offense is trying to do. And it's overlooked, I feel like, but that's a huge part, just understanding what the offense is trying to do, and I think Jesse does a great job of doing that.
Were you one of those guys who would go in and asking questions?
Oh yeah, well, he was with the DBs, so I'll be like, hey Jesse, what was that? Before I go out there, I don't want to get a mental error, but yeah, that's my dog right there.
At what point in that time, because obviously he was still very early. I think that may have been one of his first NFL jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point did you realize this guy's got it? He's still so early, but he's going for it.
For me, I kind of knew it right away. That's why he was like my go-to when I needed something in Baltimore. So same thing now, go-to.
Are you going to coach or scout when you're all done playing?
I'm focused on playing, and like I said, the longer I'm with Herb, the longer I'm going to play. But when that time does come, I think I do want to do more coaching. I felt like I love scouting. I thought it was fun, but I felt kind of far away from the game. You're like a little further away from the game. I think coaching, you're just a little closer to everything. So I like to be close to the game so I could, hug the guys and be around, yell at them, stuff like that.
Not a lot of high fives
Yeah, no. In the press box, you got to be quiet because the opposing team's front office, I'm like, we can't even cheer for our guys. Like, this isn't very fun.
You also mentioned Coach Herbert, and just for my clarification, it's like the specific muscles for football that he tries to target, and then the explanation of why you're doing these very specific workouts. That's kind of what stands out to you, to Tarheeb. Is that the sort of, am I reading that correctly?
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I think like he explains it, and it's like, ooh, I never knew that. That makes a lot of sense. So it's like, I feel like I've learned so much about like the body and what some muscles I've never heard of until I got here. I'm like, what? And it just makes sense. So then like you're like more motivated to do it. And like, like I said, I've learned so much about my body like this past year and now like than ever. So that's been really good.
How was it to be back?
It was great to be back. Always when you get a chance to go out there with the guys and go against the offense a little bit, see everything that our front office has brought together with the new guys, some of the old guys, how better they've gotten already, and then just challenging the defense to match that energy and each other, keep feeding off each other. That's a great opportunity, great experience. Deion Henley just talked about treat every day like it's your first day, and that's a powerful message, especially for those who love the game. And if you go out there every day and a little nervous about some things, a little like unsure, you tend to give it your best effort. You try to lock in on the details, and you can see that today compared to last year. The guys did an awesome job.
What excites you the most about your group heading into year two?
Well, all the guys excite me. Dervin for sure. Like I love coaching Dervin. He's a big reason I get up, no complaints, come to work, roll with it. The other guys, Aloy Gilman's doing a great job. Elijah and Cam are coming along just fine, doing a great job as well. Tarheeb Still has done a really good job of just maturing kind of overnight. Seems like he's a different person, and he's doing a great job. And then the new guys, the additions have been really helpful because they're vets, and they're really good for Tarheeb and Cam, two young corners. To have Ben out there and D-Jack out there, like really helps them continue to take their game to the next level. And even Josh Taylor's been really, really doing a great job this offseason. So excited about those guys and excited about the new guys too.
How much of a jump can you get from year one to year two?
Well, I really, be honest with you, I think you have major jumps in a year. For example, in 21 at Michigan to 22, we thought we took a big jump. Kind of didn't. And the next year we had the same team pretty much. We refocused on things that we can do better. It's not what we do, it's how we do it. And we took a larger jump. And I see that already. We focus on, this is what we do, but it's how we do it's more important. And the guys have really done that. And that's why everybody loves Dervin James, because it's how he does things, right? He practices hard, he plays hard. He communicates loud, aggressively. He's physical when he tackles, physical taking on blocks. He wants to cover the best cover guy. So it's how he does it, which makes everybody else kind of rise to the top. So I think we could take a big jump every year, as long as we're focused as coaches and players that's what are our blind spots. Let's improve on those. Like, don't take it personal, take it serious, as my wife would say. She tell me that every day. I'm like, okay. Say what?
You better listen.
I better listen. I do. I listen.
You mentioned the new guys. I assume you were involved in that process of getting them here, and Dante and Benjamin. Like, what is it that you saw with how they played that you thought were fitting well here?
Well, I'm big on maturity. I think that the way they approach the game, when we spoke to them, they came up and hung out with us, like their IQ, their football IQ and awareness was off the charts. They've been coached by a couple guys who I know do a great job of developing them, so I thought it would be a great addition. Want to get a bigger corner and want to get some more speed out there, so I thought we kind of did both with that. And again, like I said, just the maturity, their leadership, and then giving them like I told them, a new opportunity on life. Like, we thought it worked well with Christian Fulton, and I try to relate to the guys, not just X and O's. I try to figure out, what's been lacking in their career so far. And so we sit down, man to man, and we talk quite a bit about things that we can work on technique-wise, habits, just anything that I feel that maybe was slighted them in their previous organizations that can help them kind of propel themselves to being elite corners.
You mentioned Tarheeb's maturity. How have you kind of seen that manifest in the last couple of weeks or months?
Well, we've seen him manifest since the season was over. He's been around. He's really taken a liking. Khalil Mack has taken him under his wing, as well as the other older defensive backs. But I love when you see young players run towards greatness, and not the other direction. And it's awesome to mimic their habits and what they do, especially their good habits. And Tarheeb has really done that. He's really grown up and matured. He accepts coaching and criticism even in a different way. He did last year too, but it's even better because I think he's had success, so he knows that it works. But he's really done a really good job. And the thing I'm seeing him lead, he's in the front. He runs. He tries to win every sprint. He's in the front of every drill. He's talking to the young guys. He was just there last year this time. So just seeing that growth from a guy is really important to me, and I love it so far.
Just with Derwin, like last year in the offseason, you guys obviously had an idea of how you were going to use him. But now that you've had a full season where you could sort of define his role, play him at nickel more and sort of use him in those ways closer to the line of scrimmage, how does it help you going into this offseason as far as fitting the pieces together in the secondary, kind of knowing exactly how you guys are going to want to use Derwin, having sort of that proof of concept from last year?
Well, I think we're right on task because moving him around, he's like a chess piece, and then it allows you to create other guys as chess pieces too. So Tarheeb plays inside and outside. So does Jasir. Derwin can play safety, nickel, both safeties, base, nickel, and dime. Then we have some other guys that have watched him, and now we're moving them in that same direction. Tony Jefferson can play every position. A couple of the new guys we're bringing in want them to learn dime too. So having him as a chess piece helps the guys believe in versatility. And I always talk to the older guys, they get it because they know as your career goes longer, you may have to change positions, right? So if you continue to be versatile, you continue to be marketable. So when those new guys see the success they have, they want to do the same thing. I've always been a guy, I don't like, just because he's a number 2 on the depth chart, he might not be the number 5 best defensive back we got or number 4. I want the 4 best, the 5 best, the 6 best out there on the field as much as possible. So you'll see guys interchange. Even last year, we repped a couple corners at safety when we started getting thin just in case we had to use them. So I like guys being able to learn every position.
How much competition are you expecting in training camp for the 2 outside spots when Derwin's a nickel, at nickel and Derwin's at safety? Just what are your expectations?
Oh, it's competitive. Nobody has a spot. We want to see who's going to earn it. I know every coach says that, kind of cliche, but I rotate guys in. I put young guys with older guys to see how they function when they do know the right call. I put young guys together to see who's going to, rise to the top and be a leader. When the outside guys are going, back and forth, who's going to be out there. I want to see who's versatile and can play nickel as well. So not just being a corner makes you, for me, important. I like to see that you can do more than one thing. But it's extremely competitive. I mean, we drafted one in the 7th round, brought 2 guys in, and then everybody back except for K2 and Zant. So, I think it's extremely competitive right now. And Tarheeb and those guys were like rookies last year, right? Now they're the cream of the crop. They're trying to continue to get better. The older guys that we brought in are competing with them. And then some of the guys that's been around that's improving the last 2 years are giving them competition as well. So it's awesome. They're going to make my decision really hard, and that's what you want.
Coach, to piggyback on what you were talking about, in the summer sessions like this, spring sessions like this, how often do you try different combinations to see who worked with who? You talk about Derwin's versatility and moving here and there. Do you have enough time to try combinations against certain schemes to see what works?
Yeah, not so much schemes right now, more just like personnel or just put them out there. Like you got the little nickel, the big nickel, 3rd down nickel, and it just depends on what you're running, right? Same thing with you got base corners and nickel or dime corners. So for me, it's just putting those guys out there and putting one guy in, another guy, just seeing what he knows, try to throw him in the fire. He may not have repped it, but we've walked through it. We've had, the one thing with the NFL, you watch film and you see guys doing an excellent job and you want to compare all the time when you were in college. But we have plenty of time, to teach these guys. And they have really done a good job of taking to it and learning. So it's really not anything that anybody out there shouldn't know concept-wise. They should all know corners, know the rotations. They know. Why should you know the rotation? So you know where your help is. You know what the quarterback's looking at, right? That's football 101. So I think that they all should be able to learn it all, and I expect them to. That's our standard, not our like wish list. That's what they're going to do.
With Still, Coach, what is it about his makeup that allowed him to have the success as a rookie that he did?
Well, if you're talking about just on the field, he has a really good knack. He's got a big picture vision. He's one of those defensive backs that can see from sideline to sideline. He sees what's coming to him. 2 of his interceptions, I believe he was in the coverage, and he slipped off and came up with the interception. And that confidence to do it, right? That knack to do it, the instincts to do it, I think is what separates him from a lot of young corners. Instincts is something that's kind of getting driven out of the game. So, because all the 7-on-7 and all that stuff, he's just got a knack for finding the ball, seeing the formations, and he does a really good job with that. I think that's what separates him on the field. Off the field, like I said earlier, it's just his maturity and his growth. Something that you would like to see in every player every year, and that's what's really helped him.
What do you expect from him this year?
What do I expect? Well, my standard for him is be out there on the field, make plays, right? Tackle, want to see that improving for sure. I'm a tackling guy. We're going to tackle every day. Leveraging the blocks better. He gave up 2 big plays last year because he went inside the block instead of outside, doing a better job of leveraging the block and crack replace. Those things initially is what you want to see. And then just his understanding of the game. A lot of these guys that play with instincts, sometimes they don't really understand what you're trying to get them to see until like a year or 2 later. And he and I were just talking, I think it might have been today, this morning, and he was just saying how he's seeing it a lot clearer. And he heard us, he listened to us last year, but he couldn't really hear us because it just wasn't a clear picture for him. Because there's a lot of moving parts. Now everything is slower to him. So now he actually hears us, understands us, and he can go out there and do his job.
In terms of technique that you're teaching them, or
yeah, technique, alignment, knowing how they're about to attack us based on the running back split, the tight end split, the formation, what's the personnel. It's a lot that goes into it, and I tell them you have to process. I don't want you thinking. It's just got to be, boom, boom, computing process and move to the next. Communicate, stick with it, play it, next play. And he's doing a good job of not lingering on the last play. And the other thing I would tell you, his effort he's been relentless. He's done a great job in the weight room, and like I said, Khalil Mack has done a great job with him. His effort has been relentless, and that's what we love so far.
Steve, last year we heard around this time, Jim establishing the culture and the identity of the team and the style of play and all that. From your perspective as a coach, how would you say that the players have now taken over that, establishment of the team identity and culture and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's the standard. We all use that word, offense and defense. I definitely see the leaders. Coach is really big on, you got dogs out there. You got guys that make plays, right? And the guys have, bought into that. There's going to be guys that make plays. Why can't I be that guy too? So that's the challenge for those guys. It's not that we're separating guys. It's that, hey, if he's a dog and he gets treated a certain way because he's a dog, you want to get that same opportunity? Then do the same thing, make plays. Like Coach Minner and I talk all the time, we love all our players. We do. We love all of them. But sometimes you like the guys that make the plays a little more, right? That's just life, right? And those guys make your life a little easier, you like them a little more, right? So you want to be liked and loved, go out there and make the plays. And it starts at practice, starts in the classroom, and it starts with the culture. When you get a chance, during our phase 1, phase 2, and you see how many guys are here, and they're committed to it, and you got a gentleman like Khalil Mack who's been in the league for a long time, one of the best players to ever do it at his position, and he's here. Why wouldn't you want to be here? Why wouldn't you want to be committed to it? And it's been an awesome experience for those guys.
What are you looking for from Cam Hart, entering year 2 specifically?
Man, big things for Cam. I think Cam is one of those guys who really is bought into learning the game, getting better at his craft. He's a big physical corner who I think can improve a lot more than what he even showed last year. His thing is really just the durability, wanting him to continue just to grow and mature in that situation. But I think Cam's a leader. He's one of those guys, he's not going to say a lot, but he definitely leads by his demeanor. He has a presence about him. He walks in the room, okay, I'm ready to go. Locked in, next play, let's go. And he's like that all the time. So he's not robotic by any means, but he's a machine. And I can't wait to see him get out there and do his thing.
When you talk about durability with a young player, obviously he had a couple concussions, he had the ankle, shoulder in the playoffs. it's not necessarily like you're teaching him technique or you're teaching schemes or coverages. Like, how do you go about like coaching up durability for a young player as they're trying to learn their way in the league?
Well, I think it's just understanding, they've got to really invest in the things outside of the building to continue, pour everything in here, and then also, like, get the sleep, get the food, get the rest you need so you can heal. It's just one of those games. And with him being a little bit younger guy, you expect him to kind of bounce back a little sooner. But like you said, a lot of those things you can't change. They just kind of naturally happen. But when he's back, just kind of just start staying towards the direction of being healthy. And I think he puts everything into it. And, like, with the trainers, with the strength and conditioning coaches, just want to continue to see him just be available. We tell him all the time, your best ability is availability. And sometimes it's in your control, sometimes it's not. But if it is your control, make sure you handle it.
Speaking of that, just kind of last year, your takeaway with Jasir and how much the injury might have impacted him and what kind of read you got on him and kind of what you expect going into this season.
Well, he's a tough guy now. I don't know if they know what the injury was, but he's a tough guy. He fought through it pretty much the majority of the season. And so watching him healthy at OTAs last year compared to this year, he's already ahead of what he was last year. He's running, he's fast, he's explosive, and he's confident. And he, Jaw's a little quiet guy, but he is very smart. He knows the position very well inside and out. So I just want him to take it to the next level of being a little bit more vocal and continue to take the ownership. And I see him doing that so far in the phases that we've been in already.
How much more comfortable do you feel just personally with 1 year coaching experience now under your belt, this level, with this team, with this staff?
Never thought about it. I mean, I'm 47 years old. I've been coaching 20-something years. It's football. I talked to Coach Harbaugh when I first got here. Hey, do I need to change a little bit? It's the pros, it's this. He's like, no, be you. And that's how he's been since the day I met him. And so I really hasn't changed my mindset at all, like far as like, how I'm gonna come to work, what my expectations are. I was never scared or afraid or anything like that. But I do want to continue to give more to the guys. I want to continue to learn more. I want to continue to learn the offense more, learn the upfront stuff. So when we're coaching them, we can keep elevating them because they're very smart guys and they want that. So, but Coach has always been a guy that the culture, he brings it with them. You bring yourself, you're locked in. We don't even think about that outside stuff, to be honest with you. So, but I'm excited about this year, get an opportunity to go out there and show you guys, like prove to you guys that we can get better, that we can be where we were last year or even better. And we're going to just shut up and go play.